Good morning, everybody. שפע ברכה והצלחה ושמשפחתם של הקדושים והטהורים. We are ending ספר ויקרא with two parashiot, Bear Becukotai. Very interesting parashiot. That maybe one of the main things that we learn from our parashiot is emunah, trusting God, ביטחון ואמונה, believing and trusting God. And it starts, וידבר השם משה בהר סיני לאמור. And God talks to Moses on the Mount of Sinai, and he tells him, דבר בני ישראל אמרת להם, talk to the children of Israel and tell them, כי תבואו אל הארץ, when you come to the land which I give you, ושבתה הארץ שבת להשם. And the land will cease, will you can say in Hebrew, shavta, it's a strike. The land will strike. The land will cease from working, or in other words, you're not allowed to work the land. The land is going to be a pause for the whole year we're talking about. And then we ask a question. 1 minute. Well, I don't understand. You come to the land. You didn't do 1 minute work, and you cease from working. You stop working from what? You didn't work. What is this? A strike from what? A strike from doing nothing? You didn't do anything. Then the Torah explains, Shesh Shanim, these are 6 years, you will work the field, and Shesh Shanim tizvok karmecha v'asachta tvuatcha, and you will take the tvuah, you will take the grain, ubashana shvin, the 7th year, Shabbat, Shabbaton, there will be a Sabbath for the land, Shabbat laHashem, a Sabbath for God, Sadra lo you're not allowed to plow, you're not allowed to do anything in the field. And there's all explanation. So, what's going on? If we can very clearly read the whole thing without saying the beginning, the Shavta Aretz Shabbat LaHashem, because we can say, Ki tavo el Aretz, when you come to the land that I give you, 6 years you will work, you will do whatever you have to do in the field, and in the vineyard, and at the 7th years, Shabbat Shabbaton. Everything is clear? Very clear. So why does the Torah tell us before the Shavta Aretz Shabbat LaHashem? So we can say what we want to say without mentioning the Shavta Aretz Shabbat LaHashem in the beginning. Everything is being explained in the next pasuk. So the Torah doesn't just write things. The idea is very simple. First of all, we have to understand. This is the famous question, Ma inyan Shmita leHar Sinai? What is the connection between Shmita to Har Sinai? And the answer is that, like Shmita, we see here all the details and everything, they are all from Sinai. They are all from God, directly from God on the Mount of Sinai, together with the 10 Commandments, that we cannot say that, okay, this is from the Mount of Sinai, but all the explanations, they are from our sages, the Chachamim, Chazal. Comes the Torah and tells us all details of Shmita and explains to us that the same way that we have all the details are written, that they are from Sinai, so are all the other details. In other words, the oral Torah and the written Torah, they are all from Sinai, and they're all, we have to take them in one thing. Okay, why Shmita? We could choose a lot of other mitzvahs, Shabbat, Pesach, Sukkot. We can choose a lot of mitzvahs. Why did the Torah put this tafka on Shmita? And this brings us to understanding what is Eretz Yisrael. Starting in Bereshit. Bereshit bara Elokim et hashamayim v'haaretz, and God created the world. And Rashi asks, why is the Torah starting from Bereshit, from creating the world, and not starting from the first mitzvah? The Torah is a law book, is a mitzvah book, so it should start and not from creation of the world. And the answer is God wants to show the whole nation his power, that he is the one who created the world, and he can give the land to whom he wants. He can give it to the Canaanite, they can take from Canaanite and give it to Am Yisrael. In other words, if somebody will come and ask, what is our, what are we doing here in Eretz Yisrael, which we, unfortunately, we hear it all the time. This is our land. This is the promised land that God promised us from the beginning of all times. In Bereshit already, the whole idea is to tell all the nations that God gave us, he created the world, and he chosen to give us the land. So we see that Eretz Israel, the land, is very important here. And this connects us to why was Shmita year chosen to be the one that shows us all the details that they are from heaven, and also connects us to the question, why is the title V'shavta Haaretz Shabbat LaHashem while you didn't have 1 day of work? And the answer is very simple. This is the Holy Land. It's not just a land. When Moshe Rabbeinu is being sent to Egypt to take Am Yisrael from Egypt out, Yetziat Mitzrayim, he's asking God, what are the rights? What right do they have to be, let's say, to be taken out of slavery and to go to Eretz Israel? What? Because not everybody was a tzaddik there. As we know, Moshe Rabbeinu himself was running away because of Datan v'Aviram, because they went to a king and told what they told about him killing the Egyptian. And we're not going to go into this. But he's asking, so what is God answering him? He's answering, when you go out of Egypt, you will come here to worship God. In other words, you will come here to receive the Torah, to get the Torah. So, what's the answer here? The answer is very simple. God tells to Moses, it's not a matter of they have a right, they haven't got a right, they are tzaddikim or rishaim, let's say they earned it, they didn't earn it. The fact is, God created the world for Am Yisrael to receive the Torah and go to Eretz Israel. That's the whole reason of the creation of the world. And if this is the idea, so it's not a matter of if they deserve it, not deserve it. This is their task in life. This is the mission. They have to go out of Egypt and come here, take the Torah, and with this Torah go into Eretz Israel to do this holy combination of Am Yisrael, Eretz Israel, and the Torah. And this is Ki tavo el haaretz v'shavta haaretz. You have to understand, the whole reason we're sitting here in Eretz Israel, it's not the working of the 6 years. The working of the 6 years is only a preparation to get to the year that we will sit and with God together. The whole idea is that all the means and everything that we get in this life is means to get close to God, to keep the Torah. Shavta Haaretz Shabbat LaHashem. And in the next parasha is written, Im Becukotai telechu, if you keep the laws and you go on with the mitzvahs, V'natati gishmechem, I'll give you the rain and all the blessing that we have in Becukotai. And it's the same thing, the same idea. What is Becukotai telechu? If you keep the Torah, I will give you all the good things in life. Which leads to another question. What? We all know Sachar be'ayim aleika. There is no reward in this world. So what do we talk about? Im Bechukotai telechu. And by the way, we say it every day on Shema Yisrael. V'ayayim shamoah. If you listen to God, He will give us the rain and everything. So again, what are we talking here? And this is exactly the idea that connects everything together. God gave us the land, Eretz Israel, in order that we keep the laws of the Torah here in Eretz Israel. Because God says, Im lo torati omam v'alai, if my Torah is not being done day and night, chukot shamayim v'aretz lo samti. There are no laws of the world. Everything is going to collapse, even going to be destroyed. As God told to Am Yisrael when they received the Torah, Matan Torah, kafalem har gigit, He forced them to take the Torah. Everybody asked, what do you mean He forced them? And there are a few answers, and the one answer that connects to what we are saying here is, God told them very simply, see, I created the world in order for Am Yisrael come here to the Mount of Sinai and take the Torah, and with this Torah go to Eretz Israel to keep it there. If you don't take the Torah, Im lo torati omam v'layla, everything is going to be destroyed. So this is kafalem hakikiki. He told them very simple fact. And this exactly is the idea. Im bechukotai, if we go and with the laws of the Torah, so the world will function. So it's not a reward. If you want the rain to come down, if you want to have parnosa, if you want to have the world functioning, you need the Torah. If there is no Torah, nothing is going to function. So in other words, the whole idea of city here in Eretz Israel is not to working. Sheshanim tavod. Yes, you have to work. You have to work in order to bring parnosa. But you have to understand, first of all, believe in trusting God that everything is from God. There is nothing that God is not going to provide you if you go with the laws of the Torah. And it's not a reward. You can also call it, let's say, tools or work condition. Like you go to a high-tech company, they have their breakfast, lunch and dinner, a dining room, they have a gym, they have sometimes swimming pool, they have coffee places everywhere, they have restrooms, they have whatever they want. But this all is for the guy to work and make him work and produce more with the good facilities that is called, with the good condition that is kept. If somebody is going to come to this company and he's going, okay, in the morning he comes, he drinks coffee, then he has to rest and to speak with a friend in the restroom. Then it's lunchtime, he goes to lunch. And then, wow, after lunch, a little rest, and he goes to the gym. And then coffee break. Eventually, the boss is going to call him, dear friend, bye-bye. Well, what did I do? What did I do wrong? You gave me all those things, and I took them, and I enjoyed them. He says, yes. But we didn't take them for you to only do this. The whole thing was, those are tools for you to feel good, to have a good atmosphere, and to eat good, and in order for you to do the job in the best way. And that's exactly what God is telling us. I give you everything. It's not a reward. If you go with the laws of the Torah, I will give you plenty. And you have to understand, this is not the reason we worship in God. This is not the reason we do the mitzvahs. This is the reason that we want the best tools in order to achieve a closeness to God, vekut b'Hashem, to keep the mitzvahs, to go in the laws of the Torah. In other words, you can ask whatever you want. You can ask for a nice home, a car, holidays, clothes, food, everything. But only as a tool to achieve your task in life, which is getting close to God. And getting close to God, the best way is keep the laws in Eretz Israel, because Eretz Israel is the best place for a Jew to be. So here we see a few beautiful things. This is the story, like we're talking about Shmita year. Imagine to yourself, we are not have no fields, no, how do you say, we're not in the agriculture field, we're not chaklaim, you say in Hebrew, don't know how you say it in English. Farmers, we're not farmers, so we don't have fields to work. So sometimes we don't understand the idea of Shmita year. Shmita year is the whole year, you don't work. Now imagine to yourself that somebody's going to come and tell you, or God is going to tell you, close the business for a whole year, stop working. Do you understand what this is? This is unbelievable. How can you even think about a thing like this? But this is again the idea, trusting God, understanding that whatever God does is for the best. And when God tells you something, you go with God and you do it, and it's going to, you are only going to benefit, but you have to trust God. Because to tell somebody, and then you have the Yovel, after 50 years, you have 2 years that you don't work. But God is promising, I'm going to bless the land, and you're going to have harvest for 3 years. And those stories are all around. There are taxi drivers that stopped working on Shabbos, and they say that they earn not only what they used to earn in Shabbos, which Shabbos was the best day for them, they're earning much more when they stop working on Shabbos. Unbelievable. And the same way is for some Moshav Komimut, that they kept Shmita for years, and they always had more than all the others because they kept Shmita, which is not, there is a lot to talk about it. But the thing is, the idea is to understand. You know, this is a famous story that tells about this guy, a Jew guy. He was a very good guy, tzaddik, and everybody who came to the town and needed something to eat or even money, he was like giving everybody free food, free parnos, everything free. And one day a Jew came there, a poor guy, and he's going there, but he did a mistake. Instead of going in the right house, he went to the left house, which was the evil neighbor, the Rasha. And he comes, I came to eat. He says, well, no problem. First of all, you have to work. And it gave him hard work the whole day. At night, he's already starving. He says, well, what's with the food? He says, no problem. Now you can go to the neighbor and get food. And that's exactly, that's Yetzer Hara. That's the bad inclination. He telling us, and we do the mistake and we listen to him, and he is working us, telling us you have to work from the morning to the night, and only this way you're going to earn your food, your parnasa. And we don't realize that we did a mistake listening to him, because God gives us the parnasa, and we have to do only ishtadlut, and that's all. We don't need to work from morning to night. No, we have to trust God. God is the one who's giving us the parnasa, nobody else. And this is in business. When you think and you have sometimes problems with this guy or the other guy, you have to understand and realize the one who gives you parnasa is this guy or the other guy. It's God giving you the parnasa. There is this famous story about this acrobat. He was an expert of walking on a rope between mountains, between heaven and earth, between the sky and earth, like in a very very dangerous. And one day he came to this town, and everybody was waiting for him to see how he's walking from one side to the other side, up there in the sky. And he is shouting from up there. When he climbs there, he's shouting to them, "Do you believe I can do it without this pole that you normally need to pole to have a balance?" "Yes, we believe you, we believe," the whole shout. And then he tells them, "You know what? Do you believe I can do it with a chair in my hands?" Wow, they're all excited. Wow, yes, we believe, we believe. He says, "Now I want to tell you something else. Do you believe I can do it with somebody sitting on the chair and walking from this side to the other side on this thin rope?" Wow, they were, what? Why? Yes, we believe, we believe. I need a volunteer. Do you think anybody volunteered? This is to understand what's the meaning of trusting God. The meaning of trusting God is not just a word. It's got a meaning. And that's exactly the idea. If we put it in our mind that Eretz Israel, the Torah and Am Israel, we are now counting, we are near the end, getting to Matan Torah, to receive the Torah, which, as we understand, is the mission of Am Israel, to receive the Torah and keep it in Eretz Israel. Each one of us, this connection of Am Israel, the Torah and Eretz Israel, is a holy combination that gives us all the good of this world. If we will understand, Im Becukotai telechu, if we will be ready to receive the Torah, which is also another condition that we always talk about, Keish echad belev echad. We are now counting, we are building ourselves to be better people with our own potential, but not for us, for everybody, for the klal, to get to this point of Matan Torah, to get to the point of Ma'amad Har Sinai, Keish echad belev echad, like one, and receive the Torah. And understand, if we be united and will keep the Torah here in Eretz Israel, we will have this beautiful combination. The Shabbat LaHashem, that's the title. Shabbos for God. We are here for God, not for anything else. And all the tools that we have, God is giving us in order that we will make the best job to get close to God as we can, to get close to each other, to be together. If we go in this way, God will give us all the blessing of this world. All the best to everybody and a nice, beautiful week.